All right, so evaluating expressions. Evaluate the expression given that the cosine of A is equal to 4 over 5 with 0 less than A less than pi over 2, and sine of B is negative 15 over 17 with 3 pi over 2 less than B less than 2 pi. Now, these problems are going to work the exact same way as the problems that you were supposed to do for homework, okay, except they're now not things off the unit circle, okay? But they've given us all the information that we need to be able to solve these. So these problems are going to simply say, find the sine of A plus B, okay? And you'll be using those different pieces. So I'm about to do like half your homework for you because I'm going to set up what these look like and you don't need to do them again once you have them. Now, on the quiz or the test, you're going to have to know how to set them up. I'm not going to give it to you. So what I would suggest is once I draw these triangles and what they look like, when you go to do your homework, I would pretend that you'd never seen it before and try to do it again for yourself. But you don't have to because you're already going to have it for this set of problems. So I'm going to set up a triangle for A. And so I know that the cosine of A is 4 over 5. And I know that this is in what quadrant? 1. So I know that this triangle is here. Okay? Now, A is always this angle here. So 4 is the adjacent side. 5 is the hypotenuse. What does that mean my other side is? 3. So the Pythagorean triple. If you don't know that, then you'd use the Pythagorean theorem. So at this point, what I want to do is I want to find the sine of A and the tangent of A because for all six, or for the sake of these problems, all I care about are sine, cosine, and tangent, right? That's the only thing in my formulas. So sine of A would be what?
5 over 4.
No. 3 over 5. What's tangent of A?
4 over 3.
4 over 3. No.
No, 3 over 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're always using the angle, like we're taking the sine of the angle that's touching the...
Yep, just like when we were just setting these up before in the previous sections. But there's only 2 that have to be set up, and then after that, you just use them for the rest of the problems.
Oh, I thought we were finding the cosecant.
I just said we don't need that because these formulas only use sine, cosine, and tangent. Listening ears. All right, so where's this one? Quadrant 4. So it's down here. This is sine, so that means that this is 15. Now, I know it's negative. If they had given me tangent, I'd have to really pay attention, but I know that that value has to be negative because my hypotenuse can't be negative. And so then I need the other side. In this case, I would suggest we use the Pythagorean theorem because probably not one you know off the top of your head. It is a perfect square, though. So this is going to be the square root of 17 squared minus 15 squared. It's the square root of 64.
8.
So it's 8. So this side is 8, and it's in the x, or in the positive x direction, so 8 is positive. So I know sine of B is negative 15 over 17. What is the cosine of B?
Cosine of B is
8 over 17. And tangent of B? Negative 15 over 8. All right, so now that you have this, all 6 problems in this little section of problems you can do without ever having to do this part again. until the quiz or the test. But you can just use this when you do your homework, or you can try to set it up yourself to make sure that you know what you're doing. Up to you. So, I don't need that anymore. 12 is the sine of a plus b. Without looking at your formulas, what is the sine of a plus b?
1. No.
The formula.
A plus sine.
No, sine A times.
No, sine A.
Cosine B
Yeah.
plus sine.
Plus cosine A times sine B.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sine A cosine b plus cosine A sine b. So remember, sine has the same sign and they're opposite functions together. Cosine is opposite signs but the same function. All right, so now I take this information that I've written here and I just fill it in. Okay, so the sine of A is 3 over 5. Cosine of B is 8 over 17. Plus the cosine of A is 4 over 5. Sine of B is negative 15 over 17. Or not 15. Yeah, no. I was looking at the 5 and got really confused there for a second. All right. What is 5 times 17? 85. And so then I've got 3 times 8 is 24. And then minus 4 times 15 is 60. So minus 60. So this ends up being negative 36 over 85. Now, obviously, if things can be reduced, I should reduce. But I don't think there's anything that can reduce by.
Will we always have a common denominator, or will we ever have to make one?
I think you should automatically get one, but obviously if there's not for some reason, then you would need to do one. And obviously, you can see this answer does not look like the answers for the ones where you're off the unit circle, which all have some combination of root 6, root 2, 4, or 2, root 3, or 2 and root 3 for tangent ones. Obviously, these look different because you're actually plugging in number values to them.
Is it also different because we don't have any, like, because it was perfect squares?
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to get one like this. It's not,
Okay.
like, at least not in this book. So,
3, 7, and 9.
all right, 14. The tangent of A plus B. What's the formula for tangent?
Tangent, it's something over something. It's a
Tangent
fraction.
A plus B plus tangent B over 1 minus tan A tan B.
Yep.
Tangent A, tangent B.
Now, obviously, you can look at your notes while you're doing your homework, but you need to start ingraining them before the quiz. So, now, I just plug in these numbers. So the tangent of A, I'm going to have to scroll back up. Perk up when you have paper. 3 over 4 plus tangent of B is negative 15 over 8. So obviously, Charlotte, in this case, we will have to get a common denominator. But this is really the only situation where that's going to happen. It shouldn't happen that way on sine and cosine. I guess hypothetically it could on a cosine problem. But I think it usually works out nicely. And then 1 minus 3 over 4 times negative 15 over 8. So on top, I need to get a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply this one by 2 over 2. On the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I know that 4 times 8 is what?
32.
32. So I'm going to multiply this 1 by 32 over 32. And so then I can rewrite this as on top 6 minus 15 over 8 all over, what is that, negative 3 times negative 15, that 40, positive 45. So 32 minus 45 over 32. And then, is that negative 9 over 8 all over negative 13 over 32.
Wouldn't the
No,
bottom be
positive. Yep.
Yeah.
So 77 over 32. And then Shepard's favorite phrase.
I dare you. I dare you.
Keep change
What's the start
left.
Key change slip. I dare you, Daniel.
He's been gone every day that we've used it.
What's it, 77? I know. Dare you.
So now reduce.
Where did,
Right there.
is that 11 or 77?
77.
Okay.
Luke doesn't even look like that.
So negative 36 over 77.
He had 30-something last night.
So obviously the tangent ones still aren't beautiful in these ones, just like they aren't in the other ones where we're using our unit circle.
What happened to the one where you can like only get 3 different answers? I like that one.
The ones that you didn't do.
Yeah, those ones.
All right, 16. The cosine of a minus b. It's formula for cosine.
Cosine A times cosine B plus sine A cosine B.
Yep. Not plus, but yes.
Minus?
Well,
Oh,
just
multiply.
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just what I was assuming you were meaning to say,
Yes,
but
that is what I meant. It was what I meant in my head. It's just not what I said.
No, baby.
all right. Cosine A was 4 over 5. Cosine of B, 8 over 17. Plus sine of A, 3 over 5. Sine of B, negative 15 over 17. Didn't you just have your wisdom teeth out?
Yeah. He put
You
it in his
definitely
mouth.
should not have just done that.
He just put it in
You're
his
not
mouth.
supposed to spit for like 2 weeks. You can get dry sockets that way.
He realized he can't eat it.
Yeah, I took a
Put
bite
in his
out of
mouth.
it and it was like, ow, and then I just spit it out because I realized I can't.
All right, on the bottom we have 85. On the top I've got 32, and then minus 45. So I've got negative 13 over 85.
This is a lot easier than the tangent one.
Yeah, tangent's just kind of a miserable one.
I think we should just get rid of it. Maybe we should all decide that we don't like it and just not use it.
Usually I only give one tangent one on the quiz because it's miserable.
Do you think we'll have a quiz this week or will it be next week?
Probably Friday.
Okay.
What, so let's say you're using this in real life. What would it?
We're not doing that.
Helps us with everything.
We're not. No. All right, the next one's simplify the expression. It's 20. Sine of x plus pi. Now, people tend to start getting confused and either going and trying to pull some random identity because it kind of looks like the one identity, and then they start writing like cosine of whatever. Okay? Or they're just like, yeah, I don't know, I think that's already simplified, and then they just walk away. Okay? These are in the sum and difference formula section. So what do you think I might need to use?
Sum and difference.
Sum and difference formulas. So this is the sine of essentially a plus b. Okay? It's just x plus pi. So what is the formula for the sine of something plus something?
Sine of x cosine pi
Yep.
minus
Same sign for sine.
plus sine of pi cosine x.
Yep. It doesn't matter what order. I'm just keeping them in the order I normally write them in. All right, so now at this point, you have used your formulas. Now we get to go back to the unit circle. Okay, obviously I can't do anything with the ones that are x, so I don't know what that is, but what is the cosine of pi?
-1.
So this is the sine of x times -1 plus cosine of x times what's the sine of pi?
0.
0. So that stuff goes away, and I'm just left with negative sine of x.
I like that one.
I like this one.
Hey, don't say.
All right, 22. Tangent of x minus 2 pi. So I've got tangent x, same sign, minus tangent of 2 pi over 1, opposite sign, plus tangent of x, tangent of 2 pi. What is the tangent of 2 pi? Yep. So this is tangent of x minus 0 over 1 plus tangent of x times 0. And I'm just writing it out so that you can see it. I normally would just get rid of the 0 stuff. So the minus 0 is gone. Tangent of x times 0 is gone. So it's tangent of x. You like these ones better?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's out pretty.
26. Cosine of x minus 3 pi over 2. What would the formula be for this one?
Cosine x cosine 3 pi over 2 minus plus sine x sine 3 pi over 2.
What is the cosine of 3 pi over 2?
Unit circle.
0, so this just would be 0 here. And then what's the sine of 3 pi over 2?
-1.
So this would be negative sine x. So my answer is just negative sine of x.
This reminds me of those identity stuff.
Just don't try to use the identities to solve these. All right, one more. 30. Actually, hold on. 28. Cosine of x minus pi over 2.
This one's fine. Wait, it's just that one flips. Okay. Cosine. X.
Oh.
Cosine
Wait.
pi over 2 plus sine x sine pi over 2.
It's the cosine of pi over 2.
0.
0, so that whole piece goes to 0. What's the sine of pi over 2?
1.
So that equals sine of x. All right. Any questions on those?
That's x. Wait, that's not.
I took yours a long time ago.
All right. Problems picking up where we left off. 13, 15, 17, and then 19, 23, and 25, which there's not a cosine one in there, but if you want to have a cosine one, do 30.
And would you like us to turn this in along with the 3 problems that were yesterday?
That would be one.